And we're back to CSS. This time we're going to style borders. To do that, let us create a simple h1 and a paragraph. We use the property border minus style. By default you don't see any borders obviously, or we can for example make it dotted. And all of the other values, the thickness, for example, this is just given the default value now. So we can see a border and it gets all of the other default values. As I've said, none is the default for the styling, and this makes all the other values obsolete. You can also make that dash, for example, a couple of options here. Let us select our h1 as well, and we'll go to a solid style for the paragraph. Let me add a couple of more text elements, and you can see this border spans the entire element, in our case the paragraph, and depending on how much text is in there or how many other elements are in there, this border is being expanded automatically, so it doesn't span a line or two lines, it spans the element, in our case the paragraph, as I've said. Let's adjust the width by using the property border minus width. You can use pixels here. There are also some name commands, for example thick or medium. You can adjust all of these values for the borders individually for each side. It has 4 sides, so obviously we can use 4 values. This works, for example, for the width. Let me make that 111, and we'll go over this step by step. It starts at the top and then goes clockwise. So top, right, bottom, left. This is a general rule. When it comes to CSS, it's always when you have these 4 values for an element, it's a clockwise direction and it starts at the top. Finally, we can add a color. Let me make that, for example, red for paragraph. You can use hex codes if you want to. And here it goes the same way. So we can target each side individually by using 4 values, red, blue, green, yellow. As I've said, clockwise starts at the top. This can also be done to the style. So if we add 4 different styles, this would work. But you usually find that in a shorthand way of writing, it's quicker. Instead of using border minus style, minus width, minus color, just the border property is used. The first value is the width. The browser knows that if you just add thick or 5 pixels, for example. Second is for the style. So if we add solid here, the browser knows that this is supposed to be the style. And let me copy paste this hex code for the color, which is the last value. Let me get rid of the comment, and there you go, we can see the border again. This shorthand way of writing also works for a specific side, so if you want to only target the border top, you make it border minus top, and then you add the 3 values for width, then style, then color, and all this works as well. You usually encounter only the border, because most people want to have it like this, and not a different style for top, bottom. But let me show you a styling element where you could potentially actually use a different way of styling your border, depending on what site you've got. I'll do that for the paragraph, and I only add it to the left, so we need border minus left. I add 10 pixels, solid, make it red. So this is kind of like a bullet point where we've used a dash, or we've created a dash, and it's always going to be as long as this paragraph. Let me change our border to 5 pixels, solid blue. As I've said, this is usually the way you encounter borders in CSS. Finally, we can also make it round by using border minus radius. Five was a little bit low, let me make that 15. And now you can see we have rounded corners. And this could also be split up, so border radius for top, right, bottom and left. So just in case you want to have that. And these are the basics of designing borders in CSS. I hope this video was helpful, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.